This video is sponsored by The Ridge. Experiment time. Today we'll figure out the best King Arthur flour for sourdough bread. The contenders are Sir Lancelot, unbleached bread flour, and all-purpose flour. Which one are you rooting for? Hi, I'm Sune, and I'm a food geek. During this experiment, I made a huge mistake that screwed with the shaping, and I couldn't figure out what the heck the problem was. But stick around for my learning lesson, you might learn something too. The three different flours we're testing today are three different types of flour. Sir Lancelot is a high-gluten flour, bread flour is a specialized flour for bread making, and all-purpose flour is a lower gluten flour for general baking applications. Let me give you the details. High-gluten flour, bread flour, and all-purpose flour differ in protein content and their absorption and hydration characteristics, which are crucial for various baking outcomes. High-gluten flour, with its high protein content, typically has a higher water absorption rate. That means it can take in more water without becoming overly sticky or wet, making it ideal for doughs that need to be firm and elastic, such as bagels, pizza, and sourdough bread. The high hydration capacity also contributes to the development of a strong gluten network, essential for the chewy texture characteristics of these products. Bread flour, with a slightly lower protein content than high gluten flour, also has a high absorption rate, but not to the same extent. It can absorb a significant amount of water, which helps develop a good gluten structure, necessary for the volume and texture of bread. The hydration capacity of bread flour ensures that the bread has a good crumb structure and a moist interior, which is particularly important for artisan bread. All-purpose flour has a lower water absorption capacity with moderate protein content than high-gluten flour and bread flour. This characteristic makes it less suitable for high hydration doughs, but perfect for various general baking applications, from cookies and cakes to pie crusts and biscuits. A dense gluten network is not desired in these baked goods, and the lower hydration capacity of all-purpose flour helps achieve the tender and crumbly textures typical of these products. You know, I'm high hydration too. Having a hard time finding gifts for your loved ones? Why not something from The Ridge? How about this awesome Hyper Lime inspired by high performance gear? I know I'd love to get that. It goes so well with my speeder motorcycle. You can even personalize it with text or design and add that special touch to your gift. My personal favorite is that AirTag attachments are available on every relevant product. Yes, I own 12 AirTags. Shop the holiday sale at rich.com/foodgeek and get up to 30% off through December 20th. That's rich.com/foodgeek. Using my link, you can enter your email or SMS for a free chance to win a Rich bundle worth $4,000. While I usually change up one variable during my experiments, I didn't think it'd be fair to keep the hydration the same for all these flours. So I decided to test Sir Lancelot at 80%, the bread flour at 75%, and the all-purpose flour at 70%. Otherwise, the formula is the same. 100% of the selected flour, 2% salt, and 20% starter. If you'd like to support the channel, please consider joining my Patreon. You can also buy some merch, use the super thanks, or use the links for tools and ingredients in the description. Those were the words. This is the experiment. This is an experiment, not a recipe. If you'd like to know how to make sourdough bread, there's a link in the description for my master recipe. First, I mix the dough for all 3 loaves. At this point they look quite similar. Then I perform 3 sets of stretch and fold spaced out by 30 minutes. After the last set, I wanted to put the dough into bulking containers and I had a new baking spray. I did not shake the spray and that would prove fatal. Well, I get them off to proofing to 25% growth. Then the pre-shaping. As you can tell, the Sir Lancelot, which was sprayed first, was just so weird. It seemed sticky, but then not really. As you can see, it was like there was a problem with the gluten development. It kept splitting open. Then I tried to get more structure into this dough. Nope, it split again. I tried a bit longer and then I decided to shape the others and then I returned to it. It seemed a little better, but still kind of sticky. I didn't really figure out what the problem was until afterward when it dawned on me that there had simply been too much baking spray on the first one because the spray hadn't been mixed properly. So the moral of the story is that shake it up goes for baking spray too. The final shape went a bit better, but you can also tell that the other doughs had similar issues, but less severe. Then I put all 3 loaves in the fridge for about 18 hours. The following day, I heated my oven to 230 degrees Celsius, 450 degrees Fahrenheit with my Challenger inside. Then I dusted each loaf, flipped them onto the peel, scored them, and then I baked them. After 25 minutes, I took them out of the Challenger and let them brown. Then I cooled them off. And now, it's time for the crumb reveal. That giant hole was still in the middle. Lastly, I want to smell and taste each bread to see the differences. Delicious smell, slightly tangy, weedy, and that dark caramelized smell from the crust. I can't really tell the difference from the previous one. And this one smells exactly the same. Alright, let me taste. That's good. Lovely texture. Pleasant tanginess. Quite weedy. Then this one, it's a good too. Very similar. I'm not sure I could pick it out in a blind tasting. And the last one. Well, it's tighter in texture, but the taste is the same as the other two. So, while the shaping kind of tanked this experiment, the conclusion is the same. All 3 flours are perfectly good for sourdough bread if used at their respective hydrations. Adding whole grain flour to the dough will enhance the flavor immensely. I'd suggest rye, spelt, oat, or einkorn. Yum. Sir Lancelot and the bread flour will serve you well if your goal is high hydration and or open crumb. If you'd like a more closed crumb, all-purpose flour is your go-to flour. The bread flour and the all-purpose flour are priced about the same. Sir Lancelot only comes in 50-pound bags because it's a professional product. It's technically cheaper per pound though, but 50 pounds of flour is a lot, so buying it might not make sense unless you're baking a lot. I guess you could team up with your sourdough friends and split a bag. I hope you learned something today. See you next time.